Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening, Sneha.
Good evening. Good evening to all our guests also and the audience that is coming in. So, the session today is about weight loss, the myths. Now, there is actually इतना सारा कुछ इंटरनेट पे है. जब भी हम वेट लॉस की बात करते हैं तो इनफैक्ट वाई इंटरनेट अगर हम नॉर्मल किसी नेबर को भी पूछेंगे नीड वॉक करने भी जा रहे हैं वहां पे इतनी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है. सो देर इज सो मच ऑफ कंफ्यूजन अबाउट वेट लॉस. इंफॉर्मेशन सबके पास है बट रिजल्ट्स बहुत कम आ रहे हैं. सो वेट लॉस के मिथ्स क्या है और फैक्ट्स क्या है, ये टॉपिक इज वन ऑफ द रियल मेजर टॉपिक्स विच आई वांटेड टू डिस्कस विथ यू बिकॉज यू आर इन दिस फील्ड सिंस सो लॉन्ग and you are in even an enthusiast in fitness. So I
Thank
thought it would be very nice to invite you. So I'll just introduce myself. I am Sneha Fafat. I am a registered dietitian and I've been working in this field since 15 years now. Can you please introduce yourself?
yeah. Good evening, everybody. Myself, Dr. Sushil Loya. I am a bariatric surgeon. I have keen interest in lifestyle modification and weight modification, consultancy. And not only the surgical, we also do a lot of lifestyle modification. And I am associated with Sneha since now more than a decade. Rather,
Hmm.
she was the first one who knows how to handle the bariatric patient in. It's a long association. It's good to see Sneha back into the Nagpur. I welcome you back to the Nagpur. And
Thank you, sir.
definitely, we will try to bust the myths around the weight loss because when I practice, a lot of patient comes with my chachi ने का नहीं बताया है, मेरे मामा ने ये बताया, मेरी मौसी ने ये बताया. So I
Hmm.
always tell them, uh, you should not ask how to cook food from a dhobi. So you should ask a
Yes.
chef how to cook food. So
Hmm.
having opinion is a democratic right. Everybody can have opinion, but whose opinion
Hmm.
to believe, whether it is scientific, whether it is right or wrong, it is up to you to
Hmm.
decide. It should be scientific and should be backed by a lot of data and science.
Hmm. तो एक्चुअली सर अगर हम बेसिकली थोड़ा सा भी घर से बाहर निकलते हैं ट्रैवल करते हैं सो एवरीबडी हैज देयर ओन कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वेट कैसे लूज करना है क्या करना चाहिए क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. सो आई एक्चुअली फर्स्ट वांट टू क्लियर आउट कि व्हाट इज वेट. नाउ देर आर डिफरेंट वेट्स इन द बॉडी. मसल वेट होता है बोन वेट होता है. तो एग्जैक्टली ये वेट हम क्या कम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और ये हेल्थ पे कैसे इफेक्ट कर रहा है. सो वेट एंड हेल्थ एंड ओबेसिटी ये सब डिफरेंट टर्म्स है. स्लाइटली डिफरेंट बट हम लोग
Right.
सब यूनानिमसली यूज कर रहे हैं उसको. तो क्या इसमें डिफरेंस है और क्या सिमिलैरिटीज है ये वर्ड्स में.
So when you ask what is weight, our
हम्म.
body is definitely made up of a lot of structure. It includes bone, muscle. It
हम्म.
includes a lot of water in the form of blood and intracellular, extracellular fluid. It also includes fat, and our body is basically made up of three basic component. जैसे हम
हम्म.
अगर कोई बिल्डिंग बनाते हैं तो पिलर बीम सीमेंट रेती गिट्टी और स्टील मिलाते हैं उसी तरह हमारी
हम्म.
बॉडी में there are three major components that are carbohydrate, fats, and protein. All are
हम्म.
equally important, or all are the important framework or foundation of our body. So weight is divided for a clinical purpose into a lean weight and a fluid weight and a fat weight. So your bone, muscle
Okay.
mass, all this form a lean skeletal muscular system weight. That includes your organ
हम्म.
as well. Then there are essential
हम्म.
fluid in your body like blood. Then there are intercellular fluid, extracellular fluid, and then
हम्म.
there is a fat which is a reserve to keep moving when you are not eating or when you are not having food. Then there is a
हम्म.
reserve stored in the body for the need in the term case of emergencies. So that
ओके.
is called the fat mass.
अच्छा. तो हम
And
कम क्या करना चाहते हैं जब हम बोलते हैं कि
right.
वेट कम करना है.
So the way people say age is a number, so weight is definitely a number.
ओके.
Having a more figure in the weight or less figure in the weight does not give you the whole picture of
हम्म.
whether you have healthy weight or unhealthy weight. But for a layman, for a general public, you should have a range of the way or a parameter on which you should know when you should consult some expert about a problem in your more or less weight. So weight is a crude parameter to judge overall component of your body. It is always defined in the terms of range. and it is calculated as per your height. So the basic crude parameter to calculate weight is the BMI, that is your basic body metabolic index, and
Mhm.
it is calculated depending on your height and weight. So weight is calculated in form of kg and height in
Okay.
meters. When you
Hmm.
divide weight in kg by a square of height in meter, you get a crude index that is called BMI, and it
Mm-hmm.
should be in the range of 18 to 25, which is a very wide range. So if you are
Yes.
below 18 and above 25, then you should consult somebody who is in special to know whether you are requiring some weight loss or some lifestyle modification or some treatment to increase or decrease it. When you want to reduce your weight, you actually want to reduce the fat mass, which is unnecessary extra reserve that your body is accumulating over the period because of unhealthy food choices or wrong lifestyle habits or some stress or some other thing that you have to reduce.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to reduce your muscle mass, you don't want to reduce your bone mass. That is actually
Yes.
unhealthy to do.
हम्म। तो जैसे अगर अपन बोलते हैं कि अगर एक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर एक 80 kg का मैन है, अगर उसमें दो लोग हैं, एक में मसल है अच्छी बिल्टअप बट फैट कम है, और एक में फैट है और मसल बहुत कम है, तो मतलब ये दोनों में अपन कैसे हेल्दी और अनहेल्दी बताएंगे, क्योंकि दोनों का वेट तो 80 है और दोनों की हाइट
Right.
भी अगर हम सिमिलर रखते हैं, तो सिर्फ वेट एक पैरामीटर नहीं है, यही आप बोल रहे थे, तो फिर
Right.
इन दोनों में
जैसे
डिफरेंस कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे?
ethnicity is one important factor. If you see any European or American in the same weight, Asian or Indian population of the
हम्म।
same height and same weight, and still the European and American will have more
हम्म।
muscle mass or more bone mass as compared to Asian or Indian who will have more fat mass. So there are
हाँ।
parameters like waist hip ratio, waist circumference, then
हम्म।
tricep skin fold thickness. These are the basic easily measurable activity which can tell you about the fat reserve in your body. And then if
हम्म।
there is a more doubt, then we have bioimpedance analyzer, we have DEXA scans, which can actually calculate the amount of fluid in your body, the muscle mass in your body, the bone mass in your body, as well as the fat mass in the body. So there are various ways of doing it. So when you are in the borderline weights, a lot of people say my bones are heavy, I am not obese. So rather
हम्म।
than you saying that, get it tested, get it evaluated,
हम्म।
and
हम्म।
then बी अफर्मेटिव अबाउट इट कि इधर आपको जो ओवरवेटनेस है दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ योर लीन मास या फैट मास. Just lot
हम्म।
of patients are in denial when they have more weight, they have hypertension and diabetes because of the weight, and still they are in denial कि मेरा तो वजन ज्यादा नहीं है, मेरी तो हड्डी ज्यादा भारी है. So we have measures to decide. We have DEXA scan, we have bioimpedance analyzer, and now
हम्म।
it is easily available in lot of fitness bands and weight machines as well. बहुत
हम्म।
सारे चाइनीज मॉडल भी है, गार्मिन का भी मॉडल है. दे कैन
हाँ।
गिव यू द रियल टाइम असेसमेंट अबाउट योर फैट लीन मास एंड द फैट मास.
ओके। तो सर जैसे आई अंडरस्टैंड कि बेसिकली देयर आर 3 फैक्टर्स एक मेजर, जब हम बोलते हैं कि जो वेट और हेल्थ को इफेक्ट करते हैं ओवरऑल, एक तो जेनेटिक्स है, एक होता है
राइट.
अपना लाइफस्टाइल, और एक होता है डाइट. सो आई नॉर्मली ऑलवेज टेल पीपल, जेनेटिक इज समथिंग दैट वी कैन नॉट चेंज, दैट इज समथिंग विच इज वी आर बोर्न विथ. एंड देन देर इज लाइफस्टाइल. लाइफस्टाइल हम चेंज कर सकते हैं, बट बहुत कम प्रपोर्शन में हम उसको चेंज कर पाएंगे. डिपेंड करता है हर एक की लाइफस्टाइल कैसी है, वर्क मॉडल कैसा है, उसके हिसाब से. बट डाइट इज समथिंग विच इज completely modifiable according to your lifestyle and your current health status. So जब हम ये फैक्टर्स हम वेट के बारे में ये समझते हैं कि ये 3 फैक्टर्स है, तो आपके हिसाब से जैसे हम डाइट और एक्सरसाइज के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो क्या एक्चुअली वर्क करता है जब वेट लॉस के बारे में हम बात करते हैं, तो
So
लाइफस्टाइल
weight
मैनेजमेंट जिसको
weight
बोलते हैं?
weight as you correctly said is a genetic disease. जैसे
हम्म।
डायबिटीज फैमिलीज में रन करता है, हाइपरटेंशन फैमिलीज में
हाँ।
रन करता है,
हम्म।
ओबेसिटी और वेट भी फैमिलीज में रन करता है. लेकिन देर इज
हम्म।
समथिंग कॉल्ड इपीजेनेटिक्स, और जेनेटिक डिसीज विच रिक्वायर एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशन टू मैनिफेस्ट. So obesity
हम्म।
is basically a epigenetic disease where unless your
अच्छा।
lifestyle is altered and unless your diet is not proper, then only it will manifest. It cannot happen
Okay.
that you carry the genes of obesity and you are obese just because and you are following diet and exercise and still you are obese. ऐसा नहीं होता. It require
अच्छा.
environmental condition to modify it. If you see your daily
हाँ.
energy expenditure, so 70%, 60 to 70% of your daily energy expenditure is not under your control. That is called basic metabolic rate. It is
Hmm.
the amount of calories that our body burns when you are doing nothing, relaxing in an air conditioned chamber. The
Hmm.
amount of energy that you spend is basic metabolic rate, and that is
Okay.
defined by your age, which is not under your control. That to some
Hmm.
extent is governed by your hormones like thyroid and other hormones in your body, and other
Hmm.
things, muscle mass in your body. That a few things are modifiable. Most of the things in this is not modifiable. If you
Hmm.
see how much you burn by doing active workout, by running, cycling, gymming, or other thing, so let me
Hmm.
burst a bubble that it is not more than 20% of your total energy expenditure. It is just
Okay.
20% of your total energy expenditure of the day. And
Hmm.
10% of your energy expenditure, interestingly, happens in burning the food that you eat. So you're
Hmm.
burning, digesting the food also requires some energy of the body, and it is
Hmm.
almost 10% of the expenditure is defined by the food that you are eating. So as you rightly said, diet is the most easily and commonly available modifiable factor to control your
Hmm.
gene who governs your obesity.
ओके. सो मतलब ये बोलना कि मेरे पेरेंट्स में या मेरे फैमिली में ओबेसिटी है इसलिए मैं ओबीस हूँ, दैट इज एक्चुअली नॉट परफेक्टली ट्रू. It has a loophole into it that only if environmental factors are going to add up to that genetics, then only it will reflect as obesity. So it is
Yes,
also the eating
as
habits
you are
and your
as you are aware,
environment.
I am a born in a Marwadi family, Agrawal family, and my own
Hmm.
brother has been a patient of obesity, and
Yes.
obesity runs in my blood.
Hmm.
I have to not follow diet or not do exercise, then it will definitely manifest in me as well. So
Yes.
genetic factor is governed by environmental factor that you provide. So you can still be not obese even if you are carrying a genes of obesity.
सो नॉर्मली सर जैसे मेरे पास पेशेंट्स आते हैं ना तो उन्होंने बहुत सारी डाइट्स पहले ट्राई की होती है, जैसे कीटो डाइट है या कार्ब्स नहीं खाना डिनर में या ग्लूटेन फ्री फूड खाना है, क्या हम ये ट्राई कर ले. पीपल मैसेज में कि हम डिटॉक्स ट्राई कर सकते हैं क्या, हम इंटरमिटेंट ट्राई कर सकते हैं क्या. तो ये सब जो डाइट्स है ये कितना रियली, जैसे कीटो डाइट लेट अस टेक एन एग्जांपल, कि कितना ये रियली वर्केबल है. इससे वेट लॉस तो हो जाएगा, बट वेट इज द अल्टीमेट गोल. It is the fat and the muscle mass that we have to increase.
So as we discussed in the initial phase, that our body is made up of three primary components, that is
Hmm.
carbohydrate, fats,
Hmm.
and the protein. So if
Hmm.
somebody is telling you don't eat carbs, carbs are bad, then just don't see that person again. He's depriving your body of very important things, your brain, your red blood cells, your white blood cells, red blood cells which are the blood cells, and the white blood cells which are the soldiers in your blood, and your
Hmm.
whole brain, they are solely depend on the carb to functions.
Hmm.
So carbohydrate are the basic fuel of your body. It almost form 60 to 70% of your framework of your cells.
Okay.
So somebody telling you don't eat carbs, just go ask him to go to a mental asylum. So keto diet, of course, it's a proven scientific diet. It is a tool for the weight loss physician or dietitian to be used in selective patient for very limited period.
Hmm.
Ideally, a keto diet cannot be continued more than the 3 month, and it has to be done under medical supervision because it can be dangerous. We have seen the deaths because of unmonitored keto diet given by some random non-qualified person. We
Okay.
have so many news also. So all there are
Hmm.
so many diets I come across. Lot of people, those who are on the salads and fruits, lot of
Hmm.
people have become paralyzed because of depriving themselves of the important component of their own body framework. So it
Hmm.
is important to do what I always say. जो जिंदगी भर नहीं कर सकते, अगर आप वो करके वेट लॉस करने की कोशिश करते हैं तो 101% फेल हो जाएंगे. वेट लॉस
हम्म
बाय एनी मीन फॉर अ शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन can bring lot of catastrophic result in your body which you don't know immediately. Like
हम्म
ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस हो सकता है आपको कैल्शियम की कमी की वजह से, आपके बॉडी में कोलेजन या प्रोटीन की कमी रहे तो यू कैन हैव वीकनेस, इवन मायोपैथीज, एंड हार्ट फेलियर भी हो सकता है, डायलेटेड कार्डियोमायोपैथी हो सकता है. बहुत सारे ऐसे
हम्म
न्यूट्रिशनल डिफिशियंसीज की वजह से पेशेंट कैन लैंड अप इन अ वेरी सीवियर मेडिकल डिसऑर्डर्स. विटामिन
हम्म
डिफिशियंसीज हो सकती है, बहुत सारे
हम्म
और भी मेजर प्रॉब्लम हो सकते हैं. तो इसलिए डाइट, जब आप स्पेशलाइज डाइट ट्राई करते हैं तो इट हैज टू बी मॉनिटर्ड एंड गिवन बाय अ प्रॉपर स्पेशलिस्ट और अ ट्रेन्ड क्वालिफाइड पर्सनल, एंड इट शुड
हम्म
बी अंडर मॉनिटरिंग फॉर अ लिमिटेड पीरियड फॉर अ
हम्म
स्पेसिफिक गोल. Otherwise,
yes
you should just practice 300 or 500 kilocalorie deficit, calculating your active lifestyle and
हम्म
adequate protein. There is a now studies which has said reducing carbohydrate more than 45%, less than 45% in your diet is
हम्म
counterproductive. So when the keto
अच्छा
fad was going on in the whole world, it was not only in the India. Everybody
yes
in the world was talking about keto diet 2 years back, and
हम्म
all the keto guys were gods in the field of weight loss. And suddenly
हम्म
they have disappeared. Since
हम्म
last 1 year, there is no god preaching keto again. Why?
हम्म
Because when there is a study, diet studies goes for 10 years, 20 years to say whether it is safe or not safe. Like there is a
हम्म
dash diet, which Atkin diet, Mediterranean diet. These are
yes
evaluated over the period of 20 years to know whether they are safe or not safe. So all these
हम्म
diets are proven diets, but
yes
they are tools for qualified physician or dietitian to be used.
हम्म
So all these diets should be monitored under medical supervision,
हम्म
and you
मतलब
should
मुझे
just
क्या लगता है
practice. Please go
यस
ahead.
मुझे क्या लगता है कि जो चीज एक्चुअली लोग क्या है ना सिर्फ ये सोचते हैं कि वेट लॉस कैसे हो जाए बट दे आर फॉरगेटिंग कि वेट मेंटेन करना इज आल्सो अ वेरी बिग टास्क एंड इट इज समथिंग विच इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट देन लूजिंग दैट वेट तो लोग वेट लॉस के चक्कर में फैट डाइट क्रैश डाइट थोड़े दिन के लिए ट्राई करते हैं एंड देन देर इज अ रिबाउंड वो वेट लॉस
So
अगर हो गया एक बार अचीव हो गया एंड देन अगेन द लाइफस्टाइल एंड हैबिट्स दे कम बैक टू देयर ओल्ड लाइफस्टाइल एंड हैबिट्स बिकॉज दे कैन नॉट कंटिन्यू दैट क्रैश डाइट फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम
So, as you are
है ना
aware, we are cold-blooded animals and they are warm-blooded animals. We are warm-blooded
Yes.
animals. So the
हाँ
way our temperature is always on a static range, our body, whenever temperature goes down, increases the
हम्म,
heat production in our body, and whenever temperature goes up, our body starts sweating and start relieving the
yes
temperature. The same
हम्म,
way, our brain knows a fat level. A homeostasis is there,
हम्म,
which acts to maintain a fat level in our body. The only
हम्म,
funniest part of the fat is that fat is the meta mechanism to protect your body in case of emergency. So your body and brain loves fat. So as you
हम्म,
start accumulating fat, your brain
हम्म,
and body try to preserve it, क्योंकि ये इवोल्यूशन मैकेनिज्म है. जब आप हंट करके खाना खाते थे तो शायद 2-4 दिन में एक आधी बार हंट मिलता था, हफ्ता भर में हंट मिलता था. तो उस टाइम पे
हम्म,
मैन को जिंदा रखने के लिए उसको फैट जमा करना होता था बॉडी में. तो वो
हम्म,
इवोल्यूशन मैकेनिज्म अभी तक के हमारा गया नहीं है. दो हम दिन में 3 बार, 6 बार, 7 बार भी खाते हैं कई बार, लेकिन वो
हम्म,
evolution mechanism is still there. So once you
हाँ
have accumulated fat, your brain knows कि how much reserve you have, and it try to
हम्म,
maintain that reserve. So
ओके
बहुत बार ऐसा आपको मिलेगा कि मैं तो एक ही रोटी खाता हूँ, आधा ही रोटी खाता हूँ, फिर भी मेरा वजन कम नहीं होता, क्योंकि आपके ब्रेन में एक मैकेनिज्म होता है जो
हम्म,
अगर आप कम खाते हो तो एनर्जी को गलाना भी कम कर देता है, तो आप और फैट जमा करते हो, और आप
हम्म,
ज्यादा खाते हो तो और डेफिनेटली और जमा करता है. तो एक होमोस्टैटिक
हम्म,
मैकेनिज्म होता है जो आपको हमेशा ओबीज बनाने के लिए एक्टिव होता है. तो ये
ओके
मैकेनिज्म को आप फूल नहीं कर सकते बाय डूइंग क्रैश डाइट और बाय डूइंग समथिंग फॉर वेरी शॉर्ट पीरियड. सो
हम्म,
वेट लॉस करना 6 महीने में, 3 महीने में बहुत इजी है. आप 5-10 किलो,
हम्म,
15 किलो वजन कम करना है, बहुत
हम्म,
आसानी से क्रैश डाइट करके या कुछ स्पेशल रेजिम करके कर सकते हो. द रियल
हम्म,
चैलेंज इज मेंटेनिंग इट बियॉन्ड 6 मंथ. 90% पेशेंट फेल्स टू मेंटेन वेट मोर देन 6 मंथ. रेस्ट
हम्म,
जो 10% बचे थे उसमें से अगेन 90% पेशेंट फेल्स इन नेक्स्ट 2 years. और 2 साल
हम्म,
के बाद फिर 2% सक्सेस रेट है जो लॉन्ग टर्म वेट मेंटेन कर पाते हैं बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट. सो इसीलिए आप एक बार BMI 30-35 क्रॉस कर गए तो
हम्म
डाइट और एक्सरसाइज भी से वेट मेंटेन करना इज रियल चैलेंज. इफ यू रियली वांट टू
हम्म
डू दैट, then the key mantra is do not do things which you cannot do for the life.
yes. So go by ways that you can actually follow for the lifetime.
So
In fact,
sustainable,
even
sustainable, persistent things, simple
hmm,
things are the key for the maintaining healthy weight. I will say
yes.
weight loss. Weight loss is a very great term. Weight loss also
Hmm,
mean your muscle loss. Weight loss also mean
हाँ,
osteoporosis. So let's talk about healthy loss of fat.
hmm. Yes, it is fat loss. I think the new
Yeah.
term that is coming up is fat loss. It is not about losing weight. It is about
Yes.
losing fat. एंड क्योंकि हमारी लाइफस्टाइल में आजकल बहुत टेंडेंसी है हमारी टू गेन फैट एंड अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ फूड इज सो हाई दैट रूम ऐसे बाहर निकलेंगे घर से तो देर आर ठेले है लॉट ऑफ कॉफी शॉप्स देर लॉट ऑफ रेस्टोरेंट्स एंड देर आर लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स हु कॉल यू कि चलो ये खाने चलते वो
And
खाने
then
चलते.
Zomato, Swiggy will keep reminding you about your
हाँ, of
favorite
course.
dish.
Yes. You can anytime swipe in the phone and then just order food if you're getting bored. So I think all these factors are really adding for आजकल लोगों में फैट इसीलिए ज्यादा दिख रहा है. Now lot of people who come to me sir तो ऐसे होता है कि वो लोग बोलते हैं कि जैसे अब हम चाय पी रहे हैं तो हमने शक्कर पूरी छोड़ दी है लेकिन हम गुड़ वाली चाय पी रहे हैं या हम हनी डाल रहे हैं या दे आर यूजिंग मेपल सिरप या दे आर यूजिंग ब्राउन शुगर. मैं ब्राउन शुगर यूज करती हूँ. वी डोंट यूज व्हाइट शुगर. सो ये शुगर्स में कैलोरी वाइज और वेट वाइज क्या इसका इफेक्ट है.
सेम जैसे कोको कोला, पेप्सी, थम्स अप, ये सब डिफरेंट ब्रांड्स है बट कंटेंट आर
हम्म.
सेम. तो सेम
Yes.
हनी, डेट, शुगर, मैपल सिरप, ब्राउन शुगर, all these are the same sisters under various packaging. So sugar is
Mm-hmm.
sugar. A refined sugar is more dangerous, but the problem with the healthy food like gluten free, dairy free, all these so-called healthy food, one of first thing is they are expensive, unnecessary for no health benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Second is because you think you are eating healthy, you tend to eat more of it.
Yes.
So the basic game is to have calorie deficit, and you are eating good and honey and not doing calorie deficit and taking more calorie in. So actually, you
Mm-hmm.
are not doing any justice to your diet plan or your body. You are at the
Mm-hmm.
end of that, your total calorie intake is high.
Mm-hmm.
So something may be little more gut friendly, but definitely
Mm-hmm.
not weight friendly or fat friendly.
Yeah. So I think any type of sugar and honey and jaggery will give you 1 gram will give you 4 calories.
Yes, all
Yes. तो
all
हम
all refined sugar will give you 4 calories.
yes. So that's a very big myth कि लोगों को होता है कि दूध डाल लेते हैं या हनी यूज करते हैं तो उससे बेटर होगा.
Yes, it's absolutely commercial promoted myth by our food industry. It is there is nothing called healthy food unless you have cooked
हम्म.
it yourself at your home for yourself or your
हम्म.
family member.
हम्म. ठीक है. और सर एक मिथ ये रहता है कि अगर मोटे लोग हैं जैसे नॉर्मली एक नोशन होता है कि मोटे लोग हैं तो ये लोग बहुत ज्यादा खाते होंगे इसलिए मोटे हैं या ये कुछ एक्सरसाइज नहीं करते होंगे बहुत सेडेंटरी रहते होंगे इसलिए मोटे हैं. तो ये कहाँ तक ट्रू है.
So all these myths are busted by a Canadian study which has
हम्म.
studied the obese people against the normal weight people about their activity level and about their food level. So the study has surprising finding that 90% of obese people eat lesser than the normal people in terms of the volume of the food, and
हम्म.
they are as physically active as a normal population. So there's a lot of play of genetics and your basic metabolic rate into it. Your wrong food choices are the reason that you are getting more fat into your body. Whatever you are eating is getting converted into your fat. And there are certain diseases which make somebody gain weight. Few
हम्म.
people may have some diseases that they need to get evaluated. But this
हम्म.
is a absolutely myth that a person is obese, then he is a lazy person or he's eating a lot. This is definitely a myth.
हम्म.
They may have a wrong food choices, but of
हम्म.
course not the volume.
हम्म. ठीक है. एंड सो वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन कि अभी है ना आजकल अब जिसको भी देखो सब लोग ये फिटनेस बैंड खरीद रहे हैं, स्टेप्स काउंट कर रहे हैं। सो सब लोग सोच रहे कि फिटनेस बैंड ले लिया, सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू बी हेल्दी, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू बी फिट। एंड उनको ऐसा लगता है बहुत बड़ा लीप ले लिया। सो हाउ टू यूज दिस फिटनेस बैंड फॉर योर बेनिफिट। एंड ये सिर्फ एक फिटनेस बैंड खरीदना हेल्थ नहीं है या है, ये आप मिथ या है या फैक्ट है, ये बता दीजिए।
सो फिटनेस बैंड से भी रिलेटेड एक स्टडी है, a very
अच्छा।
interesting study which
हाँ हाँ।
says कि fitness band users have no health benefit over a people who are not using fitness band. So it
ओके।
has failed to show any benefit in terms of improving your health. That is what
हम्म।
statistics says. But yes, it is an interesting tool if you want to monitor your activity level, your active calorie burnout, which I said is not more than 20% of your energy expenditure in throughout the day. So
हम्म।
it is an important tool which you can use. See, the most of this fitness band like Garmin and Fitbit or any other band, this has
हम्म।
a few things which is very beautiful. If you are
हम्म।
practicing, you want to target for a podium finish on a triathlon, you want to improve your technique, you
हम्म।
want to know your stress level, you want to predict your abnormal rate. So they are important tool available to the masses, but also give you a false belief that I am using fitness band. I have done 10,000 steps. That means I
Yes.
have done my good amount of activity. I don't need to do anything more. And on
हाँ।
the other, your weight scale is showing something different. So don't be
हम्म।
in the denial when your fitness band says you have done 10,000 steps. Your body get
हम्म।
acclimatized to what you do on daily basis. You need
हम्म।
to push yourself beyond your normal daily routine to be
हम्म।
actually in a zone where your body burns fat and sugars to a level where you remain fit and healthy and you still eat a ice cream or a cake or whatever.
हम्म। So in fact it is the thing that you're saying is कि it is more individualized। एक पर्सन के लिए
Yes,
10,000 स्टेप्स चलेंगे तो शायद वेट लॉस हो जाएगा, बट हर
yes.
एक के लिए सेम रिजल्ट आएगा ऐसा नहीं
No,
है।
it is not there.
हाँ।
The only
तो
tool has shown result, surprising, is a very simple tool, that is the food diary.
यस।
That is the only tool which has test of time and shown actual benefit in terms of weight loss and lifestyle modification is your daily food journal or daily food diary.
एंड आई हैव एक्चुअली फाउंड कि अगर हाथ से लिखते हैं ना सर, तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू हैव ईटन अ समोसा और अ पेस्ट्री, इफ यू राइट इट डाउन द गिल्ट इज मोर हायर कि अरे मैंने
Yes.
ये खाया है। एंड देन देयर इज अ रिफ्लेक्शन इन द फूड डायरी। सो
Yes, a
इनफैक्ट
lot
आई
of
हैव
neural
बीन।
mechanism works, lot of
यस।
psychological mechanism works, and interestingly, this is the most effective tool which has stood test of time and still very effective.
यस। एंड हाउ अबाउट दिस, फिर ये जो कैलोरी काउंटिंग एप्स होते हैं कि अपना एक फोटो डाल दो जो तुमने खाया है, या वो एंट्री करो और उसका कैलोरी ट्रैक रखो।
So it is a technologically available advanced form of food diary if you are not cheating it.
बट आई थिंक कि क्या होता है सर कि जैसे अगर हम छोले भटूरे खा रहे हैं, तो घर के अगर हम खा रहे हैं और बाहर के खा रहे हैं, और दो डिफरेंट जगह के भी, कहीं के भी डिफरेंट जगह खा रहे हैं, उनका कैलोरी एक स्केल पे ये करना, लाना इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट। कहीं का
Mm.
भटूरा छोटा होगा, कहीं का बड़ा होगा, इवन इफ वी
Right.
टेक इन ग्राम्स। किसी का ऑयल अब्जॉर्प्शन ज्यादा होता है डिपेंडिंग अपॉन लॉट ऑफ फैक्टर्स। सो
So
आई
Sneha is
हैव सीन
revealing
इन माई
a
प्रैक्टिस।
trade secret. Sneha is revealing a trade secret. For a diet to be successful, it has to be quantitative dieting. So you have to measure the amount of macro contents or food contents or ingredients that you are putting into your diet and actually see the weight on the scale and then calculate your calorie intake. That is the how it should be ideally done. Though it may not be always possible to do it, but at least you can do it for maximum of your routinely eaten food. It's okay if you are done outside eating for once in a week or once in a day and you are not able to accurately measure it, but roughly able to gauge what calorie and what component you have taken. So quantitative nutrition is or mindful eating is something which is the most effective tool for the weight loss. Yes.
Yes. And sir, I also wanted to know कि जो ये सिवियर ओबेसिटी जब हो जाती है तो अगेन दिस बेडियाट्रिक सर्जरी वगैरह जो आप सजेस्ट करते हैं, सो नॉर्मली देयर इज अ नोशन कि सर्जरीज आर नॉट गुड या इट इज समथिंग इन्वेजिव। तो मतलब ये बेडियाट्रिक सर्जरी कितना सेफ होता है और किसके लिए जरूरी भी है ये करना? मतलब हर किसी के लिए तो इट इज नॉट
Right.
एडवाइजेबल, सो
So
हाँ।
bariatric surgery is a tool for weight loss. It's not
हम्म
the only solution for the weight loss. The major
हम्म
crux of weight loss is your lifestyle modification to increase the protein content of your diet, to practice calorie deficit, and to
हम्म
practice some amount of physical activity, which is not very high. Let me tell you, it is 30 to 50 minutes, 5 times a week for a normal adult. That is what
ओके
WHO recommend. This is what
हम्म
lifestyle modification that everybody has to do, even whether you are
ओके
going for a bariatric or not going for a bariatric. And then there
हम्म
is a specific BMI above which the incidence of diseases which comes with the weight, obesity, like migraine, like sleep apnea, like
हम्म
diabetes, like hypertension, infertility, cancers. There are a lot of
हम्म
56 disorders which are associated with obesity. The
हम्म
incidence increases when your BMI start going about 30. So WHO
ओके
says when your BMI is more than 35 and you
हम्म
already have this comorbid disease like diabetes, hypertension, sleep apnea,
हम्म
then you would require a medical surgical treatment for reducing weight loss. When your
हम्म
BMI goes above 40 and you don't have diabetes, hypertension, then it is called metabolically healthy obese. And there is a
ओके
study which says that all these patients in 5 years become diabetic or become comorbid. They have heart diseases or other diseases. So that's why
हम्म
40 BMI is also kept as a cutoff for
ओके
seeking for a surgical treatment of obesity. When this
ओके
patient who have diseases and BMI about 35 and
हम्म
who are not having diseases but BMI still more than 40, when this
हम्म
patient was evaluated over the period of 5 years, 10 years, it was
हम्म
found that only 2% people are successful to lose weight and maintain it. Losing is one thing, but maintaining is important thing. Only with diet and exercise. In this patient, you
हम्म
have to practice them the lifestyle modification for 3 to 6 months, and then you can
हम्म
do a endoscopic bariatric surgery or laparoscopic bariatric surgery, which at all is not invasive surgeries. They are minimal invasive surgeries done through small 5 mm or half centimeter or 1 centimeter holes in your abdomen. Patient
ओके
stays in the hospital for a day or two, and they
हम्म
can join back to their work in 5 or 7 days. And when this patient were evaluated against their same weight patient who has not opted for the surgery and evaluated
हम्म
for 10 years, the study says there is a 80% higher mortality in the patient who have not opted for the bariatric surgery or weight loss treatment against those
ओके
people who have undergone surgery and weight loss treatment. So overall life risk, quality of life is much higher if you don't do surgery. In patient who
हम्म
has done surgery, their quality and quantity of life both has improved. Second and most important thing, when they have evaluated this bariatric surgery against the most commonly done laparoscopic surgery, that is gallbladder removal, they
हाँ
found bariatric surgery as safe as gallbladder surgery. Let me tell you,
ओके
there are around 1 lakh gallbladders removed every day around the world.
हम्म
So this surgery is as safe as most commonly done laparoscopic surgery. It is safer
ओके
than driving on the Indian roads.
ओके दैट्स वेरी सेफ। तो सर आप एक्चुअली आई थिंक मोर देन अ डिकेड दैट यू हैव बीन प्रैक्टिसिंग इन pediatric and now you are in working in Kingsway, so
Right.
these surgeries are done there, right?
Yes. Currently, I'm associated at Kingsway Hospital since last 3 years, and I'm in more
Mm-hmm.
than a decade. I'm doing a bariatric surgery, and we have very sound program. It is not just the surgical program. We
Mm.
take care of lifestyle modification. We have medical options. We have endoscopic option. We have definitely surgical option depending on the patient need and their
Mm.
medical condition. So yes, it is safe to do, and the most important thing is your obesity needs to be catered. Lot of people comes कि sir मैं lose कर लूंगा with my will, and when I
Mm.
ask them, and when you have this feeling, it is more than a decade, believe me. They still
Mm.
feel that they can lose weight and they don't do it. So it is better
Yes.
to give you some time frame. In this 6 months, if I am not able to do it myself, then I will register for a qualified program to
Hmm.
start with, and then do a graduated and a stepwise approach for your weight loss rather than
Yes.
doing nothing and still be obese and carrying all the risk of diseases.
Mm-hmm. So there's a question from audience. Ki what type and intensity of exercise is recommended at 40 plus age? So normally 40s के बाद थोड़ा ये रहता है, एक मसल ट्रेनिंग है. नॉर्मली हम बोलते हैं कि वेट लॉस के लिए कार्डियो कार्डियो रहता है. तो मसल ट्रेनिंग का क्या रोल है और किस टाइप एंड इंटेंसिटी में एक्सरसाइज का कॉम्बो होना चाहिए?
Right. So WHO has a standard recommendation, though recommendation differ from subject to person, their qualification, their education, their professional needs, and their genetics and environmental fooding habits. But as a general population, WHO gives a recommendation, World Health Organization give a recommendation for the people who are in the age group of 30 to 50 or 30 to 60 that you should
हम्म.
do 30 to 50 minutes of workout at least 5 days a week. And that should include 3 days of brisk walking or running or jogging or cycling and 2 days of
हम्म.
strength training. Strength training does not, you may not need to go to the gym. You can do
हम्म.
basic strength training, basic yoga postures. You can do push-ups, pull-ups,
बॉडी
squats,
वेट ट्रेनिंग.
lunges, body weight training. If nothing,
हम्म.
climb stairs at your home.
हम्म.
So there are a lot of way you can do strength training. So strength
हम्म.
training is equally important. So if you do 2 days a week of strength training, that is also good enough for your routine healthy physical habit. But it mental exercises or stress relieving exercises like meditation should be included in your workout regime at least twice a week.
हम्म. Okay. ठीक है. So this is for maintaining your weight. So if you are trying to lose weight, then the intensity could be higher and the type of workout could
See,
be higher.
whether you are maintaining or whether you are losing, I always
Hmm.
recommend what you cannot do for life, don't do it. The weight loss
Okay.
doesn't happen because by workout. Weight loss happens
Hmm.
by calorie deficit. That is 300 to 700. That is the maximum limit one can practice.
Hmm.
700 is too high, should not be done without a dietitian or physician supervision. What
Hmm.
in an individual capacity you can practice and not more than 300 to 500 in your individual capacity. And when you are
Okay.
practicing calorie deficit, you have to maintain your bone mass and muscle mass. And that is the reason you have to do strength training twice or thrice a week to maintain your muscle mass
Hmm.
when you're doing calorie.
Oh.
By exercise is a myth. It cannot happen that way. You will injure
Hmm.
yourself, you will injure your ligament, you will not be active for 6 months. Then don't be under the impression of so-called unqualified trainers who tell you to walk for 3 hours or what tell you to go to the gym for 3 hours. Can you do it for life? You cannot do it for life. And you
Yes.
practice it for something for short period. And when you stop doing it, your all weight will going to come back. So
Yes.
practice what you can do for your life. Have a gradual speed rather than eyeing to lose weight for 3 months, 6 months. You want to lose weight for 3 months, 6 months, go to a qualified physician, dietitian, or a expert. Lose it under his medical supervision, and then maintain it by a sustainable lifestyle. Don't do it by
Hmm.
yourself.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your time from your busy
Thank you.
schedule.
Welcome. Thank you
It
very much.
was a
It was
very
a pleasure
nice
to
myth
to do with you.
busting. So many facts we got to know, and so many myths were down. So we are really glad that you joined us today. I'm
Thank
really
you very much.
grateful. Yes, sir.
I am grateful to have invited to your panel, and you are doing such a great work. I saw your all live sessions; they were very informative. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sneh. See you.
See.